Hello friends and welcome to Notebook. Suppose there is an India-Australia cricket match next week happening at Sharjah and you want to have some information about previous India-Australia matches. So you sit on your computer and Google India-Australia cricket match. You get a page which shows information about various previous matches like runs, wins, losses, etc. You simply see the information and remember it so that when you have a discussion or a debate with your friend in school about who might win the match, you have some valid information which will support your opinion. If you want to know further that how Virat Kohli fares in games against Australia, you may want to run a search as Virat Kohli India-Australia cricket match. You will get a page like this which will highlight the total runs he scored when playing against Australia. This information that you see when you run those Google searches are nothing but data. But have you ever thought, where has this data come from? Someone must have gathered this information, right? After collection, this information was meaningfully recorded and eventually presented so that you could understand what the information meant. Now, you do all these Google searches to establish your opinion that India may win or lose the match, right? Suppose after seeing the results of the previous matches, especially the run scores, the wickets and the various other parameters, you analyze such data in your mind. Based on the understanding, you think that there is a high chance of India winning the match. Based on this intuition, you might also have a bet with your friend, right? And the stakes are usually a game CD or a plate of chaat outside your school, right? The collection, recording and presentation of this data help us organize our knowledge and experience. In this case, the facts and figures establish our argument. The organization of data helps us to and draw inferences from them, which in this case is the intuition that India will win the match. Thus you see, any information can be called data. For example, the number of houses in your locality, the color of your hair, the color of your friend's hair, the temperature recorded in 10 cities on a certain day, the temperature recorded in 10 cities over a year, the announcement on a notice board, the number of times the word "the" is repeated on the page of a book, so on and so forth. Suppose you have gone for a holiday in the hills. You've got the information that sunrise in a hill station looks magnificent and thus you want to see the sunrise the next day. For this, you need to know the probable time when the sun will rise and the exact location from which you get the best views. If you wish, you may also want to know if the sky is going to be clear or cloudy the next day so that you get perfect views. But in order to catch the rising sun, you don't need to know the menu in your hotel restaurant or the name of the mayor of the hill station. Thus, before collecting data, we need to know what we would use it for. Similarly, if you want to find out the rank of all the students in your class, you might want to collect data of the marks of all students in all subjects in your class. Another example is, if you want to forecast the weather in your area for the next day, you will look into the records of previous years for that day for temperature, rainfall, wind speed, etc., etc. Thus, you will need to collect data keeping in mind that specific information you need. Once you have collected data, it is important that you sort the data into ways that will help you to understand and analyze it. This is called organization of data. You may organize it in form of tables, matrices, pictures, and frequencies. But most often, data is represented in various tables. For example, you want to compare the weights of 10 students in your class. The data that you have collected is 56, 45, 46, 51, 50, 39, 48, 45, 45, 54. This data in itself makes no sense. So you have to organize it in a way that makes sense. The best way to do is by creating a table with appropriate labels. Here, you might put the weight of a person against his name or roll number. So one column might be name and another column will be the corresponding roll number. If you want to understand that who is lightest and who is heaviest, you may want to arrange the weights in an ascending order, that is, lightest to heaviest. Thus, from the table, we see that Rima is 45 kgs, so is Rita and Vishal. Abhishek is 50 kgs. Govind is the heaviest with 56 kgs and Tanya is the lightest with 39 kgs. Now suppose your school is running a research on the general health of all the school students. Thus, they have asked each class to provide a weight chart that represents the weights of all the students in the class. For this, there are several ways to find a representative value, namely mean, median, and mode. All these methods give us a value of the central tendency of data. That is, it is a way to describe the center of a data set. Hold on, is it too much information too soon? Or may I put it as too much data about data in a short time? Don't worry. We will learn about such methods in detail in our next videos. Stay tuned. Bye.